Hey guys, welcome back to the Ultimate Goosebumps Man channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a pretty big haul video, because I'm kind of just going to be doing the haul from basically like halfway through 2024 into the end, so basically like a whole back half of the year Goosebumps haul that I managed to pick up just from the summer onward, just because I haven't done a lot of haul videos recently and I have a lot of stuff to show off to you guys, so I wanted to get into it and actually give you just a recap of all the Goosebumps stuff I acquired over the course of the second half of 2024, now that we're in 2025. And this is kind of going to be in chronological order of how I got them throughout the summer, so that's just kind of how I'm going to format it. So yeah, we're just going to get right into it. I don't want to talk about it too much, so let's just get started. Starting off with, it was around May of the summer. This is the first thing I got when I got back from school, and that is Welcome to Dead House on DVD. Now this is a pretty cool find because I actually managed to pick this up in a Goodwill. And if you don't know about Goosebumps hunting in Goodwill, it's not easy. Goodwill Goosebumps hunting is just a pain. You can rarely ever find anything Goosebumps there, and if you do find something, it's usually along the veins of like a reprint, or it's in really bad condition, or something like that. You never find like older stuff like this or an OG62 book or any of that stuff anymore. It's really rare and really sad to see, because that's a lot of where I mainly do my hunting when it's not online. But this was a really awesome find. I was so happy when I found this in the Goodwill. Like, I actually kind of freaked out because you never see this, like especially a DVD like of the original 4 DVD releases from the early 2000s. That is a rarity to find in a Goodwill. So the fact that I managed to find this, I snagged this right away. I was so happy that I found this thing to add another DVD to my collection. It was incredible. So that was the first thing I picked up. Really cool. Welcome to Dead House. Now the next thing I got was from my good friend Nick, aka Shawin. He's a member of the Goosebumps Crew podcast. He sent this to me again around the summer. It was just kind of a part of a trade I think we were doing. Can't remember for sure, but he sent this book to me. Really cool. And that is Don't Go to Sleep. Another book that I needed to fill out my OG62 collection, which I'm getting closer to completing at this point. I don't have many books left. I'm pretty close to finishing it by now, especially now that this rest of this year is up. I've gotten a pretty good, build on this collection, and it's almost done actually, so that's really cool. But yeah, I got Don't Go to Sleep. Really nice. It's an original copy of the book, first printing, which is really nice. Yeah, really happy to own this in my collection, so yeah, finally another rarer book that's in the later part of the series. Next up, we've got one that I managed to find on vacation when my family went down to Michigan for a couple days over summer. And we went to this secondhand bookstore, like comic/bookstore. I can't remember what it was called, but we went in there, and it was like, again, used comics, used books. And there's a fun story with this one because they had a whole shelf of Goosebumps stuff, from like OG62 classic stuff through like some reprints. Didn't have anything I was needing, it was all stuff I already owned. But the lady working there ended up telling me, like, she went up to me and said, noticed I was a Goosebumps fan, and mentioned they had a couple books that they kept in the back because they were a bit more expensive, and they didn't really want, kids to be disappointed if their parents didn't want to pay the higher price for the book. But because she saw that I'm a big Goosebumps fan, she brought them out, and I ended up picking up one of them, which is really cool, and I'm really hyped to own this. And that is Give Yourself Goosebumps, number 31, The Werewolf of Twisted Tree Lodge. This is an awesome book to find, man. Like, the Black Spine GYG books are a very hard thing to come by online, and if you do, they're for obscenely high prices. It's insane what the resale market for these things are nowadays. I managed to pay around like $16 for it, which is still a decent chunk of change, but considering it's a Black Spine and considering how much those things go for on eBay and stuff, that's a pretty solid deal in my opinion. It's in really nice condition as well, so it's really cool to actually own this. It was really nice of her to, bring these out to show me. They also had All Day Nightmare, but that was like $25, and I wasn't willing to spend that much on it, so yeah, we got Werewolf Twisted Tree Lodge. Really cool to finally own another Black Spine GYG, because I do have Shop Till You Drop Dead. But yeah, still really cool to get this. That was an awesome find as well. Now, we're moving on into my birthday, which was in October. I had a pretty solid haul for my birthday, mix of like parents, birthday money, all that stuff. So I'm gonna be starting off with the only OG62 book I got, and that is Vampire Breath. Another one that I needed for my collection, so really happy to own this. It's another first printing, which is really cool. And again, really beautiful condition. Some minor scuffs here and there, but still overall beautiful shape for a first printing book. So yeah, really happy to have gotten that. Then the next things I got a few DVDs and some other books that aren't OG62 related. So basically, to start off with the story for these ones, we went to Nashville for my birthday, and we went to the store called McKay's, which is a big, used DVD, book, media store in general. It's really cool in there. It's huge. There's a lot of stuff. And I found some really awesome Goosebumps things here. Just some new things to add to my collection that I was really hyped to find. I'm going to start off, I got 3 DVDs, one of which was Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, which is one of the 2008, more later style DVD releases that kind of have these more cinematic covers. I've mentioned them before on previous haul videos I've done. I love this art style of DVD personally. I know a lot of people don't like it and prefer the Jacobus artwork, but I just like these because they're different, We already have the books with the Jacobus covers, 2 versions, the originals and the reprints from 2003, and now we're getting the classic Goosebumps with Jacobus art, which is still cool that we're getting Jacobus' art because his art's iconic and it's awesome. But I just love these DVDs because they're different. They're different. They have this really unique style to them that I really like. They have this kind of more cinematic look to them, I guess. Again, I just dig the look. This one's a really cool one, easily one of my favorites. It has these really cool orange lit woods with the jack-o'-lanterns. It just really screams Halloween. And this DVD comes with 3 episodes. It comes with Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns, Vampire Breath, and Let's Get Invisible. You can see on the back right here. And also I really like this, the image of the black cat with the trick-or-treat bag and the candy spilling out. Really nice. It's a really nice Halloween kind of atmosphere and feel to this cover, which I love because Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns is obviously a Halloween story. But yeah, really awesome. Really glad that I found this DVD. So yeah, there was one of the DVDs that I found at McKay's. Now, the next DVD I found was another one of the original 90s show DVDs, another one of the 2008, later line, and that is Ghost Beach, another one of my favorite DVD covers. I think this cover looks awesome. The blues and the purples and all that stuff looks great. The skull and crossbones in the water is really cool. You got the cave with the light coming through. You got the dog skeleton from the episode. Really nice looking DVD. It just all works together very well, in my opinion. Now, the episode selection on this is definitely a bit more rough. It has Ghost Beach, The Barking Ghost, and Be Careful What You Wish For. And those are not very good episodes. None of them. Barking Ghost, I can kind of have some ironic enjoyments out of. It's kind of a so bad it's good episode, in my opinion. But it's still not great by any stretch of the imagination. But I get some kind of turn your brain off and just have fun kind of enjoyment out of it. But Be Careful What You Wish For and Ghost Beach are pretty rough episodes, so pretty rough episode selection on this DVD, probably next to like Headless Ghost. Easily the 2 worst DVDs in terms of the episode selections. But still, really cool DVD. Still really happy to own this. Love the cover on this. It's great. Now, the other DVD I managed to find was one that I was missing for a while, and it is for Goosebumps 2 Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween, Goosebumps Haunted Halloween, whatever you want to call it. This is the only other DVD I needed for my movies, because I already have the first Goosebumps movie. I've had that for a long time now. And yeah, I managed to pick this up finally, after years of not having it, ever since it came out in 2018. Finally picked this up at McKay's. And yeah, really happy to own this again. I have both Goosebumps movies now, which is really cool. This is honestly my favorite of the 2 Goosebumps movies. I know it's blasphemy to say, a lot of people prefer the first one, but I just think this one it's more fun. It has more of a Goosebumps feel to it in terms of the story and just the characters and all this stuff. It has the best live action Slappy we've ever gotten in terms of like his portrayal, in my opinion. They just nail Slappy in this movie. He's pretty much spot on to his book. And yeah, I just think it's an awesome movie. Really underrated, really deserves more love and respect than it gets. So yeah, really happy to finally own this on DVD. Now I got 2 new books for my birthday, one of which I got at McKay's once again, and that is Slappy's Tales of Horror, which is the second to newest book in the Goosebumps graphics line. Which, those of you who don't know what Goosebumps graphics is, you know, they're basically just graphic novel adaptations of original 62 Goosebumps books. They've had a bunch of these. They had like 3 original books that had 3 adaptations per book. First one had The Werewolf of Fever Swamp, Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and Abominable Snowman at Pasadena. The second book had One Day at Horrorland, Shocker on Shock Street, and Deep Trouble. Then the third book had Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, Ghost Beach, and Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. And basically what this book did was it was a modern release of the graphics books, and basically took one story from each of those 3 original graphics books. In this case, it was Shocker on Shock Street, Werewolf of Fever Swamp, and Ghost Beach, and basically made them colorized because the original Goosebumps graphics versions were done in black and white. So they colorized 3 stories from those original books, and then they added a 4th adaptation, which was Night of the Living Dummy. And I'll definitely give more of my deeper thoughts on this book whenever I get around to reviewing it at some point, but it's a solid book. You know, I think the first 3, Shocker on Shock Street, Werewolf of Fever Swamp, and Ghost Beach, are all really well done. A lot of great art in here. I'm not going to go too deep into them, but there's just a lot of like really, really cool art in Shocker on Shock Street. There's like the way they play around with shadows and just all these really cool images. Like, what's his name? Who did this one? This is... Sorry. Jamie Talagson. Jamie Talagson did an awesome job with Shocker on Shock Street. I think the art is just phenomenal with it. You know, you get another awesome shot here with Wolf Boy and Wolf Girl. Really cool stuff. Then you got ones like Werewolf of Fever Swamp, which is done by... I'm sorry, I'm like trying to find the artist here. Gabriel Hernandez. And this is another one of those really great covers. Here is, you know, another one of them here with Grady being attacked by the werewolf. Again, looks great. I think Werewolf of Fever Swamp works better in black and white, in my opinion. I think all of them do, honestly. All 3 of these stories work better in the black and white format, but the colorization works good on some of them, like with Shocker on Shock Street. I love the color version of that. Fever Swamp, though, the colors are okay, but I think the black and white just really adds to that eerie mood. Then we got Ghost Beach, done by Ted Naife. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And this is another one that's really, really cool. It's a very unique art style. Kind of has this like Japanese manga kind of style to it, which usually I don't like manga or anime styles or something, but this looks really good and just kind of fits the tone of Ghost Beach in my opinion. Has a lot of great shadows, great artistry behind it, you know. Really good stuff, some really cool imagery. I think this panel right here is probably one of my favorites. Just the lighting and everything is great on the guy in the cave. And then you have Night of the Living Dummy, which is by Dave Roman, right? Yeah, Dave Roman did Night of the Living Dummy, and he did not do a good job in my opinion. Nothing against the guy's art or anything like that. I don't think it's really a problem with his art. It's just that his art style does not fit the story of Night of the Living Dummy. I mean, this art style is just so cartoony and silly, like a newspaper style. And like, it just doesn't fit this tone of Night of the Living Dummy. Again, I'll get more in depth on my thoughts on that when I review this, but yeah, not a big fan of Dave Roman's Night of the Living Dummy. But yeah, just that is basic thoughts on it. I can get more in depth later on, but yeah, still really cool. Slappy Tales of Horror. Still like this graphics book. It's really nice. So yeah, really happy to have this. Just trying to make room here. And then the final thing I got for my birthday, I used with my birthday money. I went to Books A Million and managed to pick up the newest graphics adaptation, which is The Haunted Mask. Now, this is done by Maddie Gonzalez, and I love this book. This is a really, really great Goosebumps graphic novel here. You know, I think Maddie Gonzalez's art style is really pleasing. It works for The Haunted Mask really well, in my opinion. And just a lot of really cool stuff to it. And there's a lot of cool visuals in it. You know, this panel in particular here, after Carly Beth puts on the plaster of Paris head to scare off the love masks. This scene is really cool with her being faceless and like looking at both versions of the mask and her head. Really cool visualization and just interesting way of depicting that scene in the book. She has a lot of great stuff in here, and obviously again, don't want to get too in depth into it right now, but I love this book. I think it's a really great graphics adaptation, easily one of the higher ranked ones. I like Maggie Gonzalez's art, and she is coming out later on with one that she's doing for Monster Blood, which I also plan to pick up whenever that comes out. Not a biggest fan of Monster Blood, as you've seen my review. It's one of my least favorite books so far that I've read. It's like the bottom of that first 10 book ranking. There are some books that have dipped below it, I will say that. There are some worse books out there, but I'm not a huge fan of Monster Blood. So we'll see how the comic does. We'll see if the graphics does it justice or not. Because I like Maggie Gonzalez's art style, and I'm really curious to see how it's going to work with Monster Blood. But still, really cool book. Really happy to own this in my collection. So yeah, there's that. Now we are moving on to the end of the year. Christmas through just kind of recently today. I just got something in the mail, actually. So we'll get into that at the end. But starting off with Christmas, this is probably one of my highlight pieces of Goosebumps media that I got this year. Probably one of my favorites. And that is Calling All Creeps. I got this book for Christmas from my parents. And you're thinking, why is this your favorite thing of the haul? You know, it's just a standard copy of Calling All Creeps. Nothing much special about it, right? Well, it is a first printing, which is really cool. And as a collector, I think first printings are just a lot of fun to own. They're not really necessary for collecting, but I just kind of have it fun, find it fun. But then, not only that, it includes the holographic stickers still inside, which are from the, I think, Scholastic Book Fair. I think that's when the stickers came in. This is like, I think, my third book now that includes the stickers. Because I also have an Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns that has them, and a Beware the Snowman that has them. And then the other thing, which really makes this book special, is that it still has the trading cards intact, and bookmark, which is just really cool, because you never see Goosebumps books with the trading cards still inside. So that was a really awesome treat that I got this for Christmas. Really happy with this. Really awesome to own this in my collection. I'm probably not going to be opening it up much because I don't want to damage the trading cards, and they're already kind of hanging on by a thread. So I don't want to, rip them out. I want to keep them safe in here. So most likely it's just going to be a display copy, and then I'll use another one as a reader copy eventually. Get a secondary copy or something like that. But still, really awesome to have this in my collection. I'm so happy to own this. Just a book that has cards is such a rare thing to find nowadays. So the fact that this has it in there is just really, really awesome. Now, the next thing I got are a few things I got with the gift card I got for Christmas. And these are a couple of these are more modern books. And it's got Books A Million. Starting with a book from the classic Goosebumps series, which is the modern series of reprints of, Original 62, Series 2000, all those things. And I picked up The Haunted Car. This is mainly picked up in honor of Goosebumps The Vanishing coming out, which, adapted The Haunted Car in its third episode. So I wanted to pick this book up to just kind of commemorate that, I guess. So, yeah, really happy with this. I do like this cover by Brandon Dorman. A lot of people don't like Brandon Dorman's art. I think his art's actually pretty solid for some of them. Again, I like that it's different. I love Jacobus's art. It's still the better art of the two, but I like Dorman's art here. It looks really nice. The colors, it's a lot more colorful than Jacobus's. You got the full moon in the background. It's like lighting up the sky with this really cool blue hue. You got some orange lighting from the headlights and the trees. You got the, car here, which looks really nice, the fangs and everything. I really dig this cover. I think Dorman did a good job with it. So there's the Haunted Car. The next one I got is from the Goosebumps Horrorland series, and it's actually the first Horrorland book that I own. So I'm excited to finally have this, because it also completes a certain series of Goosebumps books that have continued on throughout the years. And that would be Wanted the Haunted Mask, or not Wanted the Haunted Mask, Scream of the Haunted Mask from Goosebumps Horrorland. This is the fourth book in the series. And thanks to having this book, I finally own every single Haunted Mask book in the series. 1, 2, Scream, and Wanted. So that's really cool. And also, of course, the graphic novel. So it's really cool, finally, to complete the Haunted Mask collection. Now the only thing that I'm missing is the Haunted Mask 2 DVD and the Haunted Mask 2 VHS. And I will own every single piece of Haunted Mask media that was released, which is really cool. So really excited to finally add this to my collection. First Horrorland book. I like this cover a lot. Again, it's very colorful. And I love Dorman's design of the Haunted Mask. I know this might be controversial. Everyone loves Jacobus's art, and I love Jacobus's design for the mask. But if you've seen my Haunted Mask ranking video, you'll see I did place Dorman's mask at #1. My opinion, it just looks a lot more evil, a lot more sinister. It's just, I don't know, I just love this design, and I don't know, it's just something very cool about it. I don't know what it is, but I just love this design of the mask. I know it's controversial, but it's my opinion. So yeah, really happy to own this. And now, my most recent addition to the collection, which I actually just got in the mail today, is another OG62 book in here, which I was really happy to get because it came with a couple little surprises that I didn't realize was there when I ordered it. But the book is The Beast from the East. I'm really excited to read this book. I remember liking it a lot when I read it in middle school, but I haven't read it since I didn't own it. I just checked it out from the library. So finally having my own physical copy of this book to own and display with my collection is really cool. Love the cover here. The colors are so good. Jacobus just nailed the colors in this. I like the design of the Beast from the East. He's really cool. So yeah. But the couple little surprises that came with this book. First of all, it is in pretty much immaculate condition. Like, it's in beautiful shape overall. So I'm really happy with the condition of this because the pictures were kind of unclear. A couple of them were in the rough condition because they had like multiple copies in the pictures. So I'm really happy that the one I got ended up being in really nice shape. But the one big surprise was that this is actually a first printing. You know, again, not the end of the world if it wasn't a first printing, but you know, the fact that it was is really cool because it's always kind of cool to own a first copy, especially in nice condition, because the first printings are, you know, the first books to ever come off the press when they were made originally in the 90s. So really pleasant surprise to find out this is the first printing of the book and being in such nice condition. And then the other surprise is that I didn't know they were doing this, but the seller ended up throwing in, when I opened the book, I found the seller threw in this little Goosebumps trading card from Topps that they released back in the 90s. They did a lot of these, and yeah, so this one is from Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So that was a really cool little addition they threw in there. It was definitely a pleasant surprise because, again, wasn't advertised. I'm not sure if they just throw this in with every Goosebumps book they have or it just happened to be in there and they didn't realize it. I don't know, but still, really cool to own this. You know, it's a really fun little, you know, piece of the 90s Goosebumps merchandise. I kind of would like to pick up more of these because I found they selling packs on Etsy, so I may pick up more of these in the future, I don't know, but really cool. I like this design a lot. The front art is just kind of lackluster, but the back design is really cool. So yeah, that is it. That is the entirety of my Goosebumps haul from, you know, last half of 2024. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I'll be sure to bring you guys more haul videos throughout the year as I continue to grow my Goosebumps collection. Always love doing these haul videos and just showing you all what I've gotten in the recent months to, again, expand out my collection and hopefully one day complete it, even if it takes a while to do. But I just want to thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I appreciate it all. And, you know, if you want to see more videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and just, you know, check out my video playlists. I have multiples doing my OG62 reviews, my 90s television show reviews, and just other things like that, ranking videos, haul videos, all that stuff. So if you want to check that out, just, yeah, go to the channel, subscribe, and you can go to the playlist section and see all the playlists I've made. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a very scary day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.